Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 132. Today's the day. Today is Wednesday. It was supposed to be an overnight. It's going to be an overnight. And even though tomorrow is July 4th, we're going to have to deal with it. So we're going to make it work. Today we are going on a very long journey, as far as 6 hours each direction. And we're going to be hitting a minimum of 5 casinos each way, potentially a few more each way. We're going to see what happens. So I am going to go to 2 cities initially, then I'm going to call a friend, and I'm going to meet him a couple hours away from there. I'm going to be taking care of some personal stuff. And then there are some casinos in the area that we're going to go to. So that's what's going on this morning. A disgustingly hot day already. 6 a.m., 77 degrees already. It's going to be a scorcher. I don't know. Actually, I can just look it up right now. Today's high is going to be only about 90, it says. But for it to be this hot this early is not good. I see that Hurricane Beryl is coming into the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico. Just had family down there for a cruise. And I see some big thunderstorms heading our way in the next day or so as well. So hopefully those hold off. Last night got a lot of work done, sent out a lot of emails, got everything pretty much caught up that I need to do right now. At least I'll hold everybody off for a while. I don't see anything that's going to hold us back today, so I'm going to let you go right now. I'm going to start my journey, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I went into the first casino of the day, and it looked like someone had already been there. I did find one play at about $3 a spin, and played that one through, and only ended up ahead $21 on that, and that's all I found. And then on my way out, I saw this, you could call him a DGen AP, if you know what I mean. He's a degenerate gambler / knows what to do a little bit, and that's why things were kind of cleaned out. So he'd already been through, so no big deal. It's still early. We're moving on. Temperature is just skyrocketing. It's 84 degrees already, and we're going to see what happens next. So the next casino we're going to go to, we're going to play some blackjack and try to get on a good trajectory for the day, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm back. So went into the second casino, walked in, looked around the slots, found nothing available anywhere, and then I saw a guy walking around checking machines. So this guy I know gets there real early in the morning, like 3 or 4, and I'm sure he's been there the whole time checking, so there's nothing there. I did go play some blackjack. I had some positive variance there. Just played for not a very long time, actually. Had $500 early on, and count went negative. I kept playing, and it went more negative and more negative, so I just got up and left, and actually ended up still at $500. So plus 500 at the second casino on blackjack. Looked at slots again on the way out and found nothing, so we're moving on. At this point, timing wise, I'm pretty early actually, so left home early. Traffic was good, didn't have to get gas on the way over here, so I'm early. So moving on to the next casino. Expect to play some blackjack and some slots, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm back. Just got it back in the car here, just getting ready to get underway. So here's my situation right now. Well, let me explain what happened in this casino first. I go into this place and look at slot machines first. I'm down about $20 or so right away. Can't find any more plays. I decided to go play some blackjack. I have some decent variance in the blackjack area, not a lot of stress. End up winning my 500 that I'm after, my minimum. And so all that's good. Come back out and look at slots again, find a couple plays, play those through, and end up ahead 91 on the slots. So interesting. While I was in there, this waitress comes in all panicked. She's like, "Oh, there you are." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What's going on?" She's like, "Oh, I saw you playing slots, so I brought you some water, and you were already gone, and I didn't know if you left already," because she knows I'm going to give her a tip. So I talked to her for a minute and talked to the dealer for a minute and took off. Ended up ahead 500 on blackjack, 91 on slots. Low stress day so far. But the problem is these things are happening so quickly right now that it's 2 hours. If I go to the next casino right away, I'll be 2 hours early for blackjack. So that's a problem. So I'm actually thinking about taking a 2-hour drive instead to a whole different area and looking for something to play there. I've never been to this area before, but I'm thinking about doing it. So that's the situation right now. We'll see. I think what I'm going to do, since this place is not too far away, is go check out the slots, even though blackjack is not open. I might get surprised. It might be open. Someone might have played all night and they never closed it down. Who knows? So I'm going to go do that, and then while I'm walking around that casino, I'll be looking at the maps, trying to see what's available in the other area and what I can expect to do. So yeah, it's a little unusual here, but we're going to try to give it a shot. The other choice would be to wait an hour and go back to the first place I went to, because their shift is just changing. I got to this one after their shift change, so they're a few hours apart on their shifts. So anyway, letting you go right now, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So I went into the next casino just to look at slots, just to see if I could get anything and potentially get ready for my trip. And there was no blackjack available. I verified that, and I only found one slot to play. I played that through, and I ended the session ahead $16. So actually I played 2 slots, ended ahead $16. So yeah, I gotta make a decision here. I'm gonna go to my first casino that I went to with the shift change and try to play there again, see what happens, and then I'll figure out what to do, because I'm still not positive about taking this trip yet. So I'm letting you go. I'll be back. Alright guys, went to the next casino and walked in, started looking at slots like I always do. Found a couple small plays, played those through, and ended up that session ahead $143 on the slots. Then I went to blackjack and sat at a $50 table with a $50 minimum and a $5,000 maximum, and I spread one hand at 50 to 2 hands at 1,000, and just had huge counts and just hammered it and hammered it and hammered it. And I was there for an hour and a half, and the first 20-30 minutes were pretty flat, not much going on, and then I started getting some serious counts, shoe after shoe, and just started blasting, and played the way I should have. I mean, I figured out my bet spread before I got there, played it all through, and ended up just getting killed. Nothing I could do about it. Played it right all the way from beginning to end, didn't make a mistake. I remember there was one hand that stood out that was a $1,000 hand, and I had a 6-4 against an ace. I insure it, the dealer doesn't have it, I double down and end up getting a 10. The dealer has an 18, I win. Had a couple other ones that were some big heartbreakers. 2 hands at 1,000, win one, lose one, or lose both, and just wore me down. there really wasn't much I could do. So, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You play things the right way, and you hope that it goes your way, but it doesn't always. But we all know that in the long run, it does. So, man, it sure does sting, though. I mean, sure does sting. I had like a true 7 or 8 on that ace, so that one worked out perfectly. Since he didn't have the blackjack, odds are I've got a 10. I'm going to get another 10 or an ace, and that all worked out. So, but in the end, I ended up losing pretty badly, and I really don't want to dwell on it, but I can tell you I was definitely being watched, and I was definitely playing the game and putting on a show, but in the end, oh well. So right now I just pulled into another casino. I think I've calmed down on the trip over here. I don't think I'm going to go too far right now. Just recycle the same casinos. Obviously, the one I just left is dead for the day. But we'll see what happens here. So letting you go right now. I'm going to try to claw back. We'll be back. All right, guys, I just talked to a friend of mine, and he is going to meet me at this casino I'm heading off to right now. And we're probably going to go somewhere together and kind of figure things out. So right now things are still up in the air, but things will settle down and we'll start picking up some money again, and I'll be back to update you, let you know what happens with all that. Alright guys, I'm back. So sorry about the background noise. I'm in a casino, obviously. Where else would I be? I guess my friend is in here somewhere checking machines. I'm looking for him right now. I did play some blackjack, spreading from one hand at 100 to two hands at 500. Played for about an hour. The low for the session was minus, oh man, it was minus 3,500. The high for the session was plus 2,400. And I ended up leaving ahead only 100. Just a lot of ups and downs, and it was the right time to leave. So anyway, I'm looking for him right now, but I just found a place, so I'm going to play that, and then I'll be back and update you later on. Alright guys, real quick, I just wanted to update you. I know it was really loud in there when I recorded the first part there, but that last session of blackjack that I had was just a huge yo-yo, and at one point I was up like $2,400 or $2,600, and then gave back $400 the last two hands, each hand, to end that shoe, and I decided to stay. And then next thing you know, I lost the whole $2,600, and then I bought in for $2,000 more before things turned around, and I ended up leaving ahead $100. But there was the second to last shoe that I was there. The first half of the shoe, almost 3 full decks, I lost every single hand. And then the second half of the shoe, I won almost every hand. And luckily for me, I was playing 2 hands at a high bet, and that's what got me back. But it was a huge roller coaster ride. Definitely not fun, but I was trying to chip away at the big loss that I had earlier today, and I probably should have left. But, you know, it was still positive. The count was still good, and so I finished out the shoe, and I was stubborn and didn't stick to what I usually do. At that point, I was up $1,800 at the end of that shoe, and I could have left, and I didn't. So anyway, moving on, we're going to another casino with a friend, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So we moved on to another casino. This is a bigger casino. We went in, looked at slots, then I played some blackjack, and then we played slots again after that. And there's definitely a lot of variety, definitely a lot of people. I played a 6-deck table, $50 a hand, spreading from 50 to 250. Never really got my bet up anyway. It doesn't matter what my bet spread was, because it was flat most of the time, and I finally got up ahead $550. So I was back there for a little while, got a couple shoes, all flat, and these guys are very sweaty here anyway, so and that reminds me of a story I was going to tell my friend here. And then played some slots. Before I played blackjack, I played slots. I was up like $5 or $6 after taking a huge roller coaster ride, and then played slots again afterward and ended up ahead $663 on the slots. So plus $550 on the blackjack and plus $663 on the slots, and we're moving on to another place, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am just leaving this casino. So we walked around and looked at machines first, as always, and found very little. In fact, we found that the majority of the good machines have been removed. I would say at least 80, maybe close to 90% of the good machines have been removed, making it very hard to make money. It's actually bad for the casino, because when there's a good play and it's going to require 1,000 spins at $5, they're getting 14 or 15% of $5,000 from it. And now, because they don't want people doing what we do, most likely, they're not going to get that money. So I hope they're happy. But anyway, we looked around at some stuff. I was ahead like $20 or $30. And then he went and played some blackjack first. There were 3 tables in the high limit. One was being taken by a player. One was being used to count money for the baccarat tables, because they had a good 12 inches of $20 bills that they were counting. So they were working on that. So I went back and ended up playing blackjack after the slots, and played there for about 20 minutes or so. Ended up leaving on a negative count, seriously negative. And there were other people waiting to get on the table, and ended the session plus 355. And then I went back, and actually I was done playing slots by that point, and I ended up ahead 240 on the slots. So plus 355 on the blackjack, plus 240 on the slots. So it's like 595, and we're moving on. So letting you go right now, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. So let me just catch you up here. Right now it is 4 a.m. So some things have happened in between here. Let me see. I mean, this whole episode has been way shorter than it should have been, because a lot of stuff happened and I didn't have a lot of time to explain. But what I want to get to the point of is basically the emotion of the day, how it's been. So first thing in the morning, I made $21 at a casino, and then I made $500 playing blackjack, another $500 playing blackjack, and 91 on slots. All that is good. Then I played another place and only made 16 on slots. At that point, I was going to go to another city and meet with somebody and play casinos in that area, and decided to wait because I didn't hear back from them. I ended up going to a casino and losing $9,900 on blackjack and winning $143 on slots. So total disaster, and the emotions of that moment, and you could see it in the casino pits, the pit workers' eyes, how they knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen. I was going through the motions. They're thinking to themselves, why are you still here? Why are you still putting money out? I'm thinking to myself, the count is good. I'm supposed to be betting this. I'm doing the right thing. And just variance got me. And it was very, very tough to go through that. And it's hard to explain to them. You know, you can't explain to them. They're like, why are you doing this? Why don't you bet less? You lost 4 hands in a row. You lost 8 hands in a row. Why are you still betting high? But that was only about an hour and a half or so, and that seemed like a million years. That was just the most painful. It's like that slow motion car accident that you always talk about. You know, you're watching it and it looks like it's in slow motion. That's what it was. It was like a 10-hour slow motion car accident that I was watching, and I was in it. So It was very disappointing, very frustrated at that point, and didn't know what to do. I was like, I know I'm doing the right stuff. I only had about 8,000 more left in my pocket. I talked to a friend of mine, a different friend, and he said, hey, I'm going to these couple casinos. Do you want to go with me? I said, I think that's a good idea. I'm just going to take a breather for a minute, and then I'll do it. So then I end up going to the casino where I was meeting him, and I played blackjack there for an hour, and I was taking a beating the whole time. So the highest I was plus 100, and I was spreading from one hand at $100 to two hands at $500, and just getting beat up left and right. The low was minus 3,500, and actually, no, I stand corrected. The high there was plus 2,400 is what I have here. I feel like it was 26, but it doesn't matter. Plus 2,400 was the high. That's the one where I had the two big hands at the end of the shoe. I felt like I had momentum. I started a new shoe instead of leaving. And I kind of want to count that against myself because I didn't do what the plan was when I walked in there. So, I mean, mathematically it was still correct, but as far as emotionally, psychologically, all that kind of stuff, it was not correct. So, and then I lost, so I ended up ahead 100 on that blackjack session and lost 11 on slots. So then we go to this first casino together, and it's a long drive, like about 2-hour drive. So I'm already, 4 hours away from home, and we'll take another 2-hour drive. I play blackjack in a very sweaty place, and I'm spreading from 50 to 250, but I can't get my bet above 100 because the counts aren't there. The low for the session was only minus 150. I end up making $550, but was getting just a lot of looks, and I'm kind of uncomfortable there. I've done a lot of losing there, not a ton of winning there, and just always felt uncomfortable at that location. But I did end up making $550 on that blackjack. So then I played slots there and won $663. That was a long story. We'll keep it nice and short. So we leave there, and we were going to head back to the original city that we left from, but there was another place, and it has a lot of slots that can be beaten. So we decide to go there. We go there, and all the slots are gone. So this place recently cleaned house and got rid of all the advantage players. And it looks like, just like one of my friends down south told me, they figured out what these people were checking all day and got rid of all of them. So they got rid of all the good machines. The only ones that were left were a couple mediocre ones. And it's bad enough, that change is bad enough that it makes it no longer worth it to go to this location, because this location is so far out of the way that the only reason we were going there is there were hundreds of good slots there, and now there might be like a dozen, and a dozen is not enough when you've got a bunch of people checking. Now, I still saw people checking machines there, but there wasn't much to check, so you can imagine how hard it would be to find a place. So that's the problem that I was having there, that we were having there. But we both ended up playing some blackjack. I ended up ahead $550 on the blackjack, and I don't know how he did. I think he ended up ahead. No, I ended up ahead $355 on the blackjack, and I think he ended up ahead like $650 on the blackjack. And then I played some slots see, we ended up playing the same table, but at separate times. So he played first, and then started walking around, and then I went to the same table and got a new shoe and started over again, and I played, and I won $240 on the slots there. So that brings us to July 4th, which is today. So after midnight, I was going to start a new episode, but we might as well just leave it as it is. I played some blackjack. I was spreading from one hand of 100 to two hands of 600. I played for 2 hours and 20 minutes, got immediately down, never came back up until the very end, and toward the end, I was almost even, and there were all these people coming in and out. Oh, let me play one hand, two hands, blah, 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 all this stuff. And finally, all of them lost, and I was able to finish up my session. I had one shoe where I went from being down 5,400 to ending the shoe ahead $100. And I was like, damn, I wish I had one or two more hands, because it was a plus 15 running count with a deck to go. So you can imagine how big those bets would have been. So, well, you know how much, 2 by 600. And then on my way out, I just played some slots as well, and I ended up ahead 570 on the slots. So it's been a long day. It's been very emotional up and down day. Been a trying day. It's been a lot of miles and a lot of steps as well. So like yesterday, let me see if I can bring up my steps. I believe I was over 15,000 steps. Right now it's 4 a.m. I've got like 2,000 steps, but let me see here. Sorry. So yesterday I had 15,934 steps. So definitely did the work and was trying to make money anywhere that I could, but had a rough time of it. But right now, if you add up all my wins and losses since I left for the cruise, I am actually still ahead. So can't really, cry about it too much, but not very happy about it. So right now, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go into this next place. I'm not sure if I'll start a new episode or not. You'll find out. You know already by the length of it. And I'll be back to update you. So as I'm walking into this next place, let's talk about what I ate today or yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't eat until 4 p.m., which is going to change. I got to get on a good schedule, and wherever I am, just have that food, have it next to me, and just have that food, because it's definitely not healthy to do that. So it was actually about 4 o'clock before I had anything, and it was actually on our way to that casino, that faraway casino, and we ended up at a gas station, and they had a more popular fast food place, not fast food though, and I had a ham and Swiss sandwich. So, and that was good. It was toasted. It was real nice. So that was good. I think I had something else later on. When we got to the place after that, we actually parked across the street from it because we didn't want to use their parking lot. And you would think why. So they have license plate readers there, blah blah blah, you understand. We ended up at this gas station across the street, and I bought some like mixed cheeses and stuff like that and ate it as we were walking across the street. So that's what I ate today. And as far as what did I tip today, I tipped nothing today. I gave nobody any money today at all. I kept my own money, and I was very happy about that. So right now I am walking into this other place, and we're going to look around here. Maybe I take you with me here as I look around, and you can hear how loud it is. And right now it's like I said, like 4:30 in the morning, and it's still packed in this place. So what are you going to do? I think what I'm going to do is start the next episode, and we'll continue on from there. We'll call it the July 4th episode, and I'll just do that. But I just want to say at this point, however it ends up, worked hard, did everything that we're supposed to do, and I regret losing, but don't regret the way that I got there. I feel like I did everything that I was supposed to do, so I can't really complain about it too much, but it never feels good, as you guys all know. So can't cry about it, but right now I'm probably going to be in this area here for another 5 or 6 hours, and then I'm going to head toward home and spend July 4th with the family. I think I'm going to take the kids to get some fireworks and stuff, and just spend some time together. So that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.